Mission 41 and the final mission of this campaign series, heading out in the Spitfire on a free hunt. The Falaise pocket has almost closed, and US forces are now rushing northeast to liberate Paris. We've just taken off from Cristot. We're going to head out towards the coast in a northeasterly direction. Once we're over water, we'll turn southeast and look for enemy aircraft. All Spitfires have now launched. Going to initiate a right-hand turn and head northeast on the outbound leg. We will climb as we head to the coast, and we should go feet wet somewhere near Ouistreham. We've arrived at the coast, currently at 7,500 feet altitude. I want to get up to 10,000 feet before going wings level. Good weather conditions, just a few clouds around. The only problem we've got right now is the sun is in our eyes. Enemies are likely to be coming in from the east, so it's going to be quite difficult to spot anything at the moment. My wingmen have just broken formation, which means there must be enemy aircraft around. I can't see a thing. I'm going to increase the combat power in readiness. There we are, 6 190s have just streaked over our heads. I'm going to do a quick about turn and go chase after one of them. What I'm not sure of is whether this is a flight of fighter bombers, in which case there may be some escort fighters following in behind that we'll have to be careful of. I've got a 190 in my sights. I've gone full engine power to try and get co-out with him. Is now in guns range. That's a good hit. His aircraft is on fire. These are indeed fighter bombers. He jettisons his bomb before I take him out. Trying to acquire another target. Another 190 kindly drifts in front of my crosshair. I've landed a few shots, but he's going to need a few more by the looks of things. I'm going to stick with him. I think that's done it, and he's on his way down. think we have now dealt with all of the 190s. But there are some 109s around. They're all higher than me. So I'm going to have to climb and get co-out before I can find another target. I can see a 109 crossing my nose now. I'm going to turn and climb and try and get behind it. Catching up to this 109, but I've just seen a Spitfire go through with a 109 on his tail, so I'm going to break off and go after him instead, see if I can help out my wingman. I'm on full engine power trying to catch him up, and I have just about managed to get there in time. I'm in guns range now. He's broken off his pursuit and he's going evasive. That's a pilot's kill. Down he goes. Okay, I'm looking around to see if I can spot some of my wingmen or any other enemy aircraft, but I can't see much at the moment. Need to try to regroup over Ouistreham if we can. I've issued the order to form up on me. I'm just waiting over Ouistreham to see where the Spitfires are. I can see a couple of aircraft on my long 6 which are probably Spitfires, but I can also see a 4-ship of 109s closing in on my 6 fast. So I'm going to push the nose down and get out of here as quick as I can. I'm going to try and drag these 109s back to Cristot and see if the anti-air guns can help me out. At the same time, I'm going to order the rest of my wing to cover my 6. I am coming up on Cristot now. The 109s are still in pursuit and they are getting a little bit closer. The airfield is just up ahead. The sirens are wailing. I need the AA guns to go to work, please. It looks like the AA guns have caused the 109s to turn away, although one of them has broken formation and he is coming after me. I'm going to circle the airfield and stay at treetops height and see if the AA guns can take him down. Meanwhile, one of my wingmen has made it back to the airfield. He's going head to head with the 109 and he makes the ultimate sacrifice. After dragging this 109 around the airfield a couple of times, I am now in a position where I can get onto his 6, So now the prey can become the hunter. I missed my early shots there, which would have been the ones that converged on his aircraft. So in the end, a lot of my shots missed, and I've just managed to damage him. But I'm going to stay with him and finish him off. He's proving to be very resilient. I'm going to break off the attack just in case he has a wingman still in the area. I don't think he's going to get much further with that damage to his aircraft. It's quiet over Cristot Airfield. All enemy units have egressed, so I am now requesting permission to land. The 109 cleared the coast, but then came crashing down to a watery grave. Perfect 3-point landing in the Spitfire. Mission complete. Normandy campaign complete. A nice way to end the campaign. 4 aircraft destroyed, awarded the bar to the Distinguished Flying Cross and the France and Germany Star for participation in the Normandy campaign. Not a great outcome for the squadron. We lost 5 Spitfires, 3 pilots killed, 1 wounded and 1 MIA. But we did inflict 10 losses on the enemy. And that is the end of my Normandy campaign series. I've really enjoyed flying the missions, and I'm hugely grateful for your support watching these videos. I'm going to leave you with the in-game cinematic for completing the Normandy campaign, and I will see you again soon.
3 days after the Falaise pocket was closed, Paris was liberated by the Allies on August 25th. At the same time, British and Canadian troops reached the banks of the River Seine northwest of Paris. The subsequent withdrawal of the Germans across the Seine on August 30th effectively brought an end to the Normandy campaign. The Allies paid a high price for their success in Normandy. Since D-Day on June 6th, the Allies suffered several 100,000 casualties, along with the loss of upwards of 4,000 aircraft, mainly due to ground fire and accidents. Although Allied strategic bombers on missions deep inside Germany were still encountering Luftwaffe fighters in strength. While the Normandy campaign was now complete, the Germans were far from defeated. The Allies would continue to pursue the retreating German ground forces eastward out of France toward the Siegfried Line and the German-Dutch border throughout the first few weeks of September. However, with their supply lines now severely stretched, Allied offensive operations slowed to a standstill. This slowdown gave the Germans much-needed time to solidify their defensive lines while the Allies looked for a way into Germany. Against this background, Operation Market Garden would be launched by the Allies on September 17th, and in the closing days of 1944, the Germans would make one last desperate play to halt the Allies' momentum.